watching this, welcome back. Yeah, I'm still having that same problem I had before where for a few seconds the stream will go down. I guess it just depends on what I am currently seeing in the game. If it's spiking a little bit of my, in terms of performance for my hardware. I'm still waiting for these things to come back down. I'm pretty sure they should. How do I make them do that though? I don't think there's any other way back up. Like, I'm pretty sure I did not kill them outright. So, I don't know, I must be missing something here. Ah, okay, yes, I am missing something, never mind. So I think one way to get through there is to use those barnacles to get up. This is the alternative path, what I thought was a dead end. Alright, so that's fine. Make sure I don't die here. All I wanted to do was move this over, and instead it has to flip. Can I get on here? Yeah, I can. That's fine. Even if it's the wrong way. Alright, so this is going to be a part B. That's fine. Only a few minutes in, and ran into a spike in the performance that caused it to go down. Sometimes it's going to happen, and that's unavoidable. There's really nothing I can do about that with my current setup. I mean, if I had a better PC, surely everything would be much better. That wouldn't happen. But I'm just going to have to deal with it. If that happens. But I'm just going to keep on going, and if there's going to be multiple parts, then I'll just, that's fine by me. Okay, I just wanted to get across there, but of course, there had to be a thing in the way. That's okay, it's not that far. Alright, so, I'm going to continue on this little solo area. As far as what's going on here, it's a change of pace from what we saw in the beginning portions of episode 1, where mostly we're working together in tandem with Alyx Vance. But while the main focus of the game and the most interesting aspects of episode 1 is that sort of cooperative gameplay with Alyx and other AI characters. I think there are other ones besides Alyx. That doesn't mean that there aren't the solo moments. There aren't the segments of the game where you're working alone. There are still those moments to be had. 100% with Alyx. Sometimes you have to. There's an area only you can traverse because of your hazard suit. You're the only one equipped to deal with what's going on. Alright, so looks like a lot of this area is focused around these laser beams, these tripwires. And we're seeing various segments going on, various levels, doing creative things around these tripwires. We have to work your way around them, you have to trigger them intelligently. And here, I think I just have to drop this on here and preemptively explode so I don't get killed when I drop down. Alright, please don't kill me. Okay, hopefully everything is triggered. And I can safely... Okay, yep, they're just these things here, and that's about it. Oh, and there's Alyx. We're on the other side. We are on the other side now. So, after all that was quite an experience. One in which could easily get killed by any of those explosive things. Very interesting puzzles going on. Finally made our way to the other side.
Here you are. I thought you might have forgotten about me.
And now we can get back to the soul of episode 1, which is working with your AI partner. Sort of single-player cooperative experience, and it's all based on the strength of the AI and how well the AI programming can work to help you. And I think the special abilities of Alyx, what the game lets her do, like that sniping segment we saw earlier, and how we can interact with that, represents the creative ways in which episode 1 lets us do a sort of cooperative experience with the AI partner. So whatever special abilities the AI partner has and how we interact with them, that's where the strength lies. It would be much more straightforward and boring if it was just like if she was just an extra gun, if she was just another one of you with a simple AI brain that would shoot enemies, and that was it. But it's like the little twists that make the interaction with Alyx a little bit more interesting, like having to shine our flashlight on the zombies so that she can shoot them, and if she can't see anything, she can't help you. So that little extra bit of interactivity allows it a much more interesting and dynamic cooperation to happen. She isn't just an extra gun, and she's also an important aspect of the AI partner is how much you have to babysit them, if you have to worry about them dying, for them to be useful. And I'm pretty sure Episode 1 cheats a little bit by giving her a lot of health so that she can't die. I think Half-Life 2, I got to some points where she did die a few times if I let her take too much damage, but she's essentially a damage sponge for the simple fact that you don't want, the game doesn't want... Okay, I'm gonna let this explode, I suppose. The game doesn't want you to have to babysit her. Alright, so do I want to... I guess I want to preemptively trigger this stuff. So I guess I just have to... Can I get her to move back over here so that I can... Yeah, let me blow this one up. Also important, of course, I'm surprised that I overlooked this for so long, is there was a segment in Half-Life 2 where you're working with like a group of freedom fighters, essentially, but they were essentially random faceless bodies that you don't know. They were strangers. And the problem with that is they are faceless. You don't know them, so you're not invested in their safety, or you're not invested in caring about working with them. Those characters were the extra guns that I'm referring to, and the interaction with them wasn't very interesting at all. In fact, that segment, despite working with those AI characters in while fighting Combine and traversing the environments, segment I would say that was my least favorite part. The near the end of the game, I think it's called Anti-Citizen 1, where we're having a squad of these strangers, guns, hired guns, or not hired guns, or freedom fighters you're working with. While they did provide extra guns to shoot at Combine, the interaction with them wasn't very interesting. You could send them to go somewhere and tell them to stop. It was very, very simple. I guess as a precursor to what's going on here, what's going on with this game, where it gets a little bit more complicated and interesting, I guess that segment in the game was more of a beta, or a clear precursor to what's going on here. Just a fledgling version of the more interesting AI cooperative partner, AI cooperative segments that we see in the episodes. So what I was getting at is Alyx is an important agent in the story of Half-Life. We care about her. The game, we've developed a relationship. She's important to the story. The decisions she makes impacts the future events in the story. So working together with her in the gameplay only reinforces the relationship that Gordon has with Alyx, and the relationship we as the player in Gordon's shoes have with her. So working with Alyx is a lot more meaningful and awesome. And that's what I like about the way the AI interaction and the cooperative gameplay works in Episode 1. It succeeds much more than what Half-Life, the ones we've seen in Half-Life 2. And I think it's important for many, many reasons.
Uh-oh. Here we go again.
Okay. So I think I want these things here. Let's get back. Combine are going to be coming through. There we go. That worked out pretty well. But if there are more, I'm going to this. And then I think that's all I have as far as environmental stuff. Is there any more I can just shoot them now? Okay, I think I got through them all. So as I was saying, the interaction with Alyx works on two fronts. Is the fact that the experience of co-oping with her is interesting because it is much more than having her as an extra gun. There is, using the flashlight was one example. Using the gravity gun to clear her vision when she was a sniper, that's another example. And there are many other ways in which we interact with her. On a sort of twist to that. To having a second gun. It's not that simple as having a second gun. You have to interact with her in an interesting way to get full use or more efficient use of her AI. And that just makes it a whole lot better and more interesting from an interactive standpoint. And then there's of course the second part is that she's an important character in the story, and the fact that she has agency in the story of Half-Life makes interacting with her more meaningful and enjoyable in and of itself. I think we can compare our interaction with Alyx to another game that came out years after. We can look at BioShock Infinite. I can compare that interaction with Alyx to the interaction with the female lead in that game, with Elizabeth. Between her and Booker, there were interesting ways in which you could interact with Elizabeth, and she of course was an important agent in the story of BioShock. But I think the main problem I had with BioShock Infinite was that she was not. There wasn't a whole lot of interactivity, especially in combat. She was a very passive AI partner in combat. She provided a more supportive role in combat, and I think that deferred a lot to what we saw in pre-release trailers and gameplay of BioShock Infinite leading up to the release. There were portions of the game where we would see. Let me get this. Do that quickly. There were portions of those pre-release gameplay segments where we saw her being a little bit more active in combat, dealing with enemies more directly, providing less of a supported role. My only guess is that somehow that portion of her AI and that cooperative gameplay must have fallen through in combat, and it's ultimately made the interaction with Elizabeth a little disappointing and more empty. I think that's my biggest criticism of that game is how passive she is in the combat role. I feel like she should have been more active, but that would have required more development, or I guess more of a need for work in the development. So maybe that was something that fell through during development. That portion of her AI, something that they couldn't get accomplished. I'm talking about the developers of that game. Alright. Get this new sniper crossbow thing that's really cool. Instant kill the guys, but you have to be super accurate. So comparing it to BioShock Infinite, I think what's missing in BioShock Infinite compared to this one is the fact that Alyx can handle herself in combat, and the interaction with her in combat is much more interesting and works much better than BioShock Infinite did. And you have to consider that this works many years before BioShock Infinite came out. So in the time that BioShock Infinite had, the better technology didn't really help it in terms of how the AI could work. A little bit distracted while I'm firing these. Alright, I get it.
This war's ever gonna end.
Alright, so now this is an example of the squad tactics that we saw in Half-Life 2. This guy's just a regular stranger, and he's essentially another gun for me to use. Because he is a stranger, I don't really care much about, you know, how the interaction works. And he could die, and you know, it's not a big deal. And that's why I don't like that interaction. It's not meaningful enough. And why I think the Alyx interaction works so much better, because that vested interest is much more important. Alright, here we go. Let's wait for him to... I missed. Any more? Oh, there we go. Oh, behind us. That barrel kind of worked out. Oh, whoa, I almost, almost killed that guy. Do I want to look at this loot over here? I think I do. There we go. Let's get back. They're trying to do something important over there. I'm just looting.
Safe house nearby.
Can you take us there?
You bet. Let's go. This way.
Alright. Safe house. So, I'm not sure how coherent my discussion of the AI was, but I think, you know, talking about how important Alyx is in comparison to BioShock Infinite, I think my meaning came through enough. It's really interesting how BioShock Infinite fell through. I'm surprised that for some reason they couldn't find a way to make her more active in combat. Elizabeth, I mean. Especially considering how important she is to the story. Making her important to the combat would have just been that extra element that would have solidified the strengths of that game. I think Episode 1 and Episode 2 of Half-Life in the Half-Life series show just how important the AI interactivity and the cooperation can be when you do fire on all cylinders and have someone as important as Alyx, you know, functioning that role and having that interesting
Hey, it's me.
interactivity with them.
What's the password?
I'm not even gonna tell you to shut up.
Come on in.
I like this little moment. I laughed when I saw this one. Pretty good.
Chains important to the process of embryonic development were selectively prevented
no.
from forming.
My dad's a
This
Desert
is no longer the case. For those so inclined,
Pretty sure
now would
she's
be an excellent time for procreation.
she's joking.
In layman's terms, you should
Dr.
give
Kleiner
serious
really telling
consideration
everyone
to doing
to
your part for the revival of the
get busy?
species. We must make the
Odessa
most of the
Coverage
time we
was
have,
a character we
as
saw
it is by
in
no means certain how much time we
in
have
Half-Life
secured
2.
ourselves
Of course, her
before
dad
the
is
Combine
Eli
can
Vance.
restore their dominion, as they certainly shall. Since this is, in fact, the first opportunity we have had to speak openly of the baleful influence of the Combine, there is much.
This is a little moment, little story moment where we can take a pause to watch. I don't know if you can hear. I hope you can hear me over the
However,
volume.
for now we will have to content ourselves with some relatively meager exposition.
You can pause to listen to his message, or you can just continue to go forward and let that message play over the proceedings of the game. Like, whenever that game gives you a choice of how to consume that, you know, that exposition, that content, the details there. It just re-emphasizes your choices, how important your choices are, your agency, and your ability to experience the game how you want. You can even pause there and watch the entire thing, or you can just continue forward. Alright, so it looks like I can't get through there. Keep on going. If you're good at multitasking, I'm sure you can... Whoa, okay. If you're good at... Yeah, that's, I think those are those head crawler things coming out of that. Alright. Enough discussing the interactions. As I see more examples of that, I'll bring it up again, but I think I've discussed that enough. Talk about something else, potentially.
return. We continue to diligently assemble and train a new generation of scientists and technicians. For what the Combine fear the most
Alright.
is not any...
Working our way through here. Whoa! I think my best friend here is the gravity gun. Save a lot of ammunition that way. There we go. Also, Alex is providing support as well. Alright. Didn't quite get destroyed there, but harrowing nonetheless. You know, think on. It's a moment where the game makes you think on your feet, keeps you on your toes. I like it. So I think this was what we saw before. What was blocking on my way? Was that the way? Different door. Is she gonna meet us somewhere else? I think.
As you can imagine, we have had scarcely time to record, let alone rehearse. What's that, Eli? Oh. This has been Dr. Isaac Kleiner, formerly of Black Mesa, now simply a citizen, like all of you
there she is.
Of Earth.
Yeah, so that was that door we saw before.
All those who can hear me now, as we struggle out of the shadow of
Alright, was there any other way to get through here? I don't think so.
Now, where did I put that calculator? Careful, Lamar. These lamps are quite hot.
Right, I think, yeah, I fell through there, but I could still go around this way. Here we go.
Fellow citizens, residents of City 17 and
I think in close quarters with the shotgun is a much more effective weapon. I shouldn't be wasting my Combine Overwatch rifle.
Gordon.
There we go.
Alyx? I don't believe it. How the hell did you get out of the Citadel?
We're not exactly
Meeting some old friends here.
All I know is the Vortigots had something to do with it. But what about you, Barney?
I'm doing okay, just going crazy trying to...
They found us!
Aw, hell, Gordon? Were you followed again?
We stole some information from the Citadel on our way out. I don't know what it is yet, but it's important enough that they've been hounding us the whole way here.
Well, that puts the pressure on. Look, we gotta get moving. You guys know about the evacuation trains, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we've been planning to make a push on the train station. Now it looks like we're gonna have to cut a path through every chicken ship metro cop who's having second thoughts about defending City 17.
If Gordon and I took a separate route, we could draw the Combine away from you. That'd give you a chance to get the trains filled up before we get there.
Really? Well, if you say so. Now, come here, look over here. Okay, across this bridge, over the rooftops, is a safe path to the station. You two head that way. I'll hit the streets and round up everyone who's been waiting. We'll meet you there.
Sounds good. Let's go.
Hey, Gordon, before you go, I was getting tired of carrying this around.
Classic
Listen,
crowbar.
I don't have many more of these, so try not to lose this one, okay?
Twist on the formula is that you get the crowbar last,
He's waiting for you.
or among the last, not quite the last weapon in the game. I think there's one more weapon to get later on.
It's a gunship.
Uh-oh. Gunships are no fun. Alright. Hopefully, gunship did not see me. Yep. Crowbar's the best weapon against those things. Save ammo and kill them in one hit. Where's my shotgun when I need it? There it is.
Warning. Blood toxin levels detected.
Alright. little bit harrowing. The health I have is deceptive. It's more of toxin thing. I'll regain my health back up just fine once a few seconds go by. Submachine gun isn't too accurate, so a little difficult to, shoot people from a distance. The rifle's a little bit more accurate there. There we go. Good old crowbar. Alright, slowly making our way through. See what challenges we have to face now. Alright, so besides a little hiccup we saw earlier, so far we've been fine as far as the stream goes.
Keep an eye out for medical supplies.
Hasn't gone down yet. I would have noticed it would have stopped playing on my tablet, which I have. I'm running as my second screen thing for the chat. If it was interrupted at any point, then that would be paused totally. So far so good. Happened only one time. I guess we gotta get out of here. Oh, nice. And when they shoot you, your aim goes a little jumpy. Every hit, so be careful. Alright, so this is one of those avoid the eyesight, the eye line of the gunship there. So I gotta stake duck down and whoa, okay. That was a nice little surprise. Is there anything in here? Nothing? Huh, I wonder what this was all about. Maybe just a way to hide. Now you can see a lot of these resources are put in deliberate intervals so you can replenish your health after you made your trek through there. Probably took some damage. Yeah, very. See, you can, after playing this so many times, you can kind of see the deliberate design of the levels. Okay, well, after this segment, we're gonna give you some health. We'll replenish just a little bit, so you can survive a little bit more. Nice. Let's see. Now it's gonna be a gunship fight. See the ammo here. And we get, I think this is the last gun. Finally get the good old rocket launcher. And this is going to be our major battle. I really like how this is designed. In that this entire environment is designed to be destroyed, essentially. And the gunship is shooting away both the ceiling as well as the floor. Alright. See, I saw a ammo crate here somewhere. Yeah, there they are. Let's go get that ammo, which was over here. Yeah, it definitely does take a punishment. This is definitely one of the more interesting rooms of episode 1, where you're fighting the gunship, and the entire environment is really destructible. Your interaction with the battle changes. As it progresses, just because it's shooting out everything. It's shooting out your cover and it's shooting out your floor. Alright. Yeah, the more it shoots out, the easier it is to spot as well. It's all like a give and take. Makes getting to this ammo crate here a little bit more difficult. Gotta get my 3 shots back. That was a complete miss. There we go. That's pretty better. Where'd it go? See it? There we go. Got it. Got it. Wow, right over there. Oh, man.
Wow! I mean, holy... That was... Jesus, Gordon, you're a real terror.
As far as big boss battles go, I really like this one. It's... We've seen battles against these gunships before. We're doing basically the same thing. We're just stocking up on ammo for the rockets and then firing at it. But I think the nature of this room and how the destructibility of it is what makes it more interesting. It's that twist that makes it it's a necessary twist to keep that fight that we've seen before more interesting. Keeps it fresh and new. Yeah, definitely like that one. Having to work our way around this environment and our approach to the environment changes as the battle progresses, just because it's getting destroyed. So our cover is getting destroyed, and getting to the ammo box is more and more difficult. However, we're also getting more review to track down the gunship itself. Clear view to take it down. Oh, whoops. Okay, anything here? Nothing.
So much for medical supplies. I found a shotgun.
Nice. Now, no, Alyx has a shotgun too. Alright, so far so good. Pretty interesting battles here. Pretty interesting interaction with Alyx, where episode 1 is at its best. Alright. Well, let's let them battle each other. Why not? Another example of how we're not just co-oping with Alyx, where we're seeing the AI interact with each other. These different, I guess, factions, you can call them, the zombies versus the Combine. There we go. It's like a big free-for-all fray. Alright, what else do we have here? Shotgun is definitely my best friend here. Throw it back. There we go. That's better. Come on. There we go. Quick on my toes. I think this is a pretty good time to talk about how important it is to the edge a mouse and keyboard setup gives you when you are playing a first-person type of game, especially a shooter. Much faster, much more nimble with your aiming. I mean, a lot of what you see when you're playing on a console and you're playing with a controller within a first-person game, you're doing a lot of keeping the cursor stationary while you're moving around your character to get the aim just right. Just because you can't really be super accurate with your aim on the right stick. Yeah, left stick is usually movement. So you're relying mostly on your movement to line up your shots. Here you're doing both, and you can be quick and agile at the same time. It's not a setup that works with every single game, of course. I mean, the mouse and keyboard setup, I almost use that exclusively for first-person games, for the most part. I think everything else, like a third-person style of game, I very much prefer to use controller. So most of the games I've played on stream so far, I've probably used the controller if it's third-person. So everything except for, I guess, the first game, Alien Isolation, which I played on stream. All the other ones were third-person games, and I would naturally prefer to use a controller for those particular types of games. But here I think these firefights, we're seeing just how I can use that precision and flexibility of the mouse and keyboard control to get me through those really intense battles. I think for any sort of competitive game like Valve's Counter-Strike or any other competitive first-person game, pro players would probably only use a mouse and keyboard setup unless it was like a console game like Halo, for instance. Halo is specifically a console shooter. There we go. See more of those things over there. It's kind of long. Don't want to open that just yet, I think. Okay, blood under the door here. It's not a good sign, usually. Aha. Whoops. Probably not good to use a sniping weapon close quarters. Alright, doesn't look like it's gonna last very long. Wonder. There we go. With those explosive shots to good use that I've been collecting for so long. Alright, yeah, this hospital, definitely the most intense hospital I've been in quite a while. I think there might have been another hospital level, I'm not sure, in Half-Life 2 proper? Perhaps. Maybe confusing it with a different level. Alright, intense firefights. Definitely probably the most intense firefights in episode 2. Alright, here we go. Straight to a
Oh no! Gordon! Are you okay?
different sort of level, I suppose.
Oh god, more zombies!
Alright. So, we're forced to deal with this on our own. Another puzzle we have to figure out. Interesting how the pacing, we're seeing how the pacing shifts so rapidly. We're seeing immediately after some frantic firefights, we kind of get more get some downward what is this? What is the technical term for it? Some rising action, then falling action. We're getting a bit of a palate cleanser. Calm down a little bit after all the excitement. Alright, so looks like this naturally clear sign for the exit. We just have to figure out how to open this door. Alright. There we go, let's clear the area out. Now it's time to relax. In terms of the sequencing of this, I think it works very well. You don't want to be amped up all the time. One of the key features of Half-Life's pacing, the way Valve develops its games, is you get this this rhythm, very well developed and well thought out rhythm of your experience. You get action, intense action, and followed by some more calming puzzle solving. It's the balance between the two that really signifies, you know, how good Half-Life can be. Whoa, okay. There are more of these things. So let's get rid of them, shall we? Nice little surprise there. Alright, so yeah, I think just want to take out as many of them as possible. No need to leave them alive. I'm going to be traversing this area a lot. Okay. There are more. I think these things will activate if I, you know, later on, but might as well take them out now while I see them. Okay. So here's a little twist on this room. Way to get to the exit. Now the water has been electrified, so I can turn it off, however. So there's that. Two more here. So recall back to that platform puzzle we saw a little bit earlier. Do something similar here, but this time in water. Get these I'm pretty sure these things float. Yeah, these are buoyant, so I actually want to something similar below here. Yeah, this will keep this afloat while I so I can cross over. does mean we have to do a little bit more of that finicky first-person platforming. As I said, yeah, first-person is great for a lot of things, and related to that, mouse and keyboard makes first-person a lot better. But it's not great for platforming, and I don't think any game has really solved that problem. I think the closest any game has ever gone to providing a realistic first-person platforming experience is probably a game called Mirror's Edge, which does a lot in terms of making sure you're able to keep track of where your body is. Like, for example, if you look down, you can see the character's body. Her name is Faith. You can see her body below you, so well, there are many different aspects about the way the game controls and how you can look around you. You can get a good perspective on where you're located relative to all the different platforms in the area. Alright, so I don't think I can go that way, so I have to try and get on that little platform there. Hopefully I will survive. Ah, okay. One of these. Almost got me there, huh? Okay, one more jump. There we go. Should be able to get there, or maybe not. Maybe I don't want to go that way, or I think that'll be fine. Yeah, there we go. I am out. Another pretty interesting puzzle room. Like how the solution to getting out presents another problem that you have to solve. So it's a multifaceted environmental puzzle. Really enjoyable. Definitely approve. And here you can see all of the things you killed. Yeah, let's get out of here. Oh, where is she?
Sorry about leaving you alone down there, Gordon. I got a bit swamped.
Yeah, no problem. Swamped, yeah, I guess
You did all right without me.
I got swamped too. Like a little play on words. Yeah, the Valve games always have interesting writing. This little clever little dialogue like that. Aha, so probably wants to careful here. Okay. Let's use this. Save ammo by using the rubble. Oh, okay, I think I know what's gonna go on here. They're going to... I think they're gonna come through these doors. I wanna lay these traps. Alright. Get ready here. I think I'd take some punishment. It's a lot of ammo you have to dump into those zombies, but okay. Oh, I missed this opportunity. I could have lit some of them on fire with these flares. That's something I might have to do in my next playthrough. But yeah, you can see many different ways you can approach any different situation. There are so many different ways, in fact, that you're bound to miss at least one solution, one extra strategy you could have taken these flares can light them on fire. Yeah, just like that. So that could have been something I might have been able to do to help me out. Maybe save some ammo. That's okay. You know, any solution you can come up with that works is totally fine. As long as it does work.
What kind of hospital is this?
I think the key there is that the developers of the game want you to have as many options as possible, and even if you don't utilize all of them 100%, doesn't mean you failed. I think it's all about, you know, accommodating many different play styles. Accommodating, you know, different people see different things, different solutions to any various situations. So providing all those options just is better for everyone, really. And you know, one person will approach the room one way. You know, a direct approach like using your guns can be one thing, or you can do an indirect approach by using your environment, just like using those flares or using the trip mines, or using the gravity gun to you know, throw objects, for example, is one way to do it. Wonder if there's a way to. Yeah, this does kind of work. You can use this as a sort of makeshift shield. And unfortunately, that Alright. Little help here, Alex? Amazing with even with the help from those turrets, shooting lots of bullets at the zombies there, they still take so much punishment. Probably shouldn't have wasted that. I think I just wanted to do that. There we go. Kind of a tense situation here. Like, all I can do is just make it to this room here. Kind of zigzagging your way through the environment. There we go. Alright, am I through? Am I through that hell hospital? I think I might be. Alright.
At any rate,
The train station.
first,
Alright, we've made it. Made it through, I think.
if you
Pretty interesting stuff going on
They're onto us. Better find Barney and get moving.
in that hospital. Various a lot of individual scenarios, making for very enjoyable succession of levels. I think, you know, very interesting combat scenarios, a lot of ways to approach them, and one or two puzzle areas as well. I think it just makes it one of the more interesting segments here. This one, this segment coming up, I already know. A little bit more hit or miss, I think, for most people, and for me as well. Like, sometimes it's fairly interesting, and other times it's
There you are.
can be frustrating.
I
This
wondered if
this
you were
segment in
gonna make it in
particular.
time.
Well,
Sorry
you'll see
for
why.
waiting. The Combine's on our tail. What's the plan?
I'm sending folks out in groups. Now, like I said before, if you can keep them safe and provide cover, we might actually stand a chance of reaching the escape trains.
Sounds good. Send out the first group.
Alright, so
Here we go.
knowing where this segment is and relative to the end of the game, I think we are fairly close to the end here.
Hello, Dr. Freeman.
Means
I
I
don't think this
might
war's ever gonna end.
actually end up finishing today unless I want to stop right now, but I don't know. I think if I can finish today, then why not? This last bit of the game is fairly long, so I don't know if it'll, how long it'll take. If it'll take me more than the time I have left to stream. It just might. So this segment in particular is interesting because
All I used to want to do was sell insurance.
you're traversing the environment, this same area multiple times as we're taking these groups back and forth. We're delivering these groups over to the train yard and essentially providing guard duty. We're providing protection for them from the Combine as we make our way through. And every single time, it's just a little different how the experiences we have to face, the challenges, and we'll see how that can be at one point interesting and at another point can be a little frustrating to deal with. It's definitely one of the points in the game that a lot of people reference most when they talk about how they feel about Episode 1 as an experience, as a game, whether they like it or not.
We'll come with you.
Alright, so you guys
All right,
move,
I'm moving.
please.
Jeez.
Am I trapped here now? Is this like
We'll come with you.
I think this might be like a little glitch that I've experienced here.
All right, I'm moving.
Strange. Just accidentally cornered
All right,
myself.
I'm moving. Jeez.
These guys are not moving. I can't move. Alright, so it's really strange to see in a Valve game a glitch like this. I don't know. I just keep experiencing a lot of these things on stream. Maybe it's the stream that is causing it. But I think the only way I can get through is to load back to an earlier save and try to do it over again.
I don't think this war's ever gonna end.
Really interesting. Is there anything else here? No. So like this group, I'm pretty sure I can.
All right, I'm moving. Jeez.
No. Thought I might be able to direct them, but I think they're not quite the same as the squad tactics of Half-Life 2. Here's an interesting graffiti. I think this was also in Half-Life 2 somewhere. See the like evolution Combine on the right.
All I used to want to do was sell insurance.
Alright, so let's get through here quickly and not get stuck this time.
Doing good.
Ah, here's the last weapon. This one's the last weapon.
That wasn't so hard. We should have brought everyone over at once.
Yeah, that is true. And yeah, this one's a pretty powerful gun. You never have enough ammo for it, though.
Go back and get another group. I'll stay here and guard the gate.
Alright, now she's our... provide cover. So on our way back here, we get these manhats. More of them? Yep. There we go. Wow, look at all this. Curious. Alright, let's turn them on our side, I think. Not sure where I could put them, scatter them about, I suppose. In case we need them.
Okay, run this group of citizens over to the train.
how about that sniper? There we go. All out. So this one, see kind of a ramping up of the difficulty. Now we have to deal with combat and fight these dudes as they make their way. So it starts off as like straightforward combat, then it gets a little bit more interesting later on. You guys gonna come? Alright. Well, I guess we lost her. I mean, if she just came along with us, she would not have died.
Hey, Freeman, get back out there and help.
Okay, they're safe. Go for another group.
Well, not really. Oops. Alright, shotgun. Yeah, you can see my frustration at the AI I could have had with you know, that I had with Half-Life 2, is that they would do dumb stuff like that all the time, and it would rely a lot on the strength of the AI, or lack thereof. Like, if they only just kept on following me, they would be just fine. They would not have died. But yeah, sometimes that happens. You can't stop it. Whoa. Okay, now Twist is sniper level. Alright, so pretty far away, but I think what I need to do here. Nope, missed. There we go. Hopefully this group isn't quite as dumb. Let's just get through here. Yeah, this gun is not very accurate. Let's switch over to this one. That's much better. Yep. All right. Yeah, when we have the sniper, we'll definitely like that one much better. Alright guys, get going. The longer you dilly-dally, the more likely you are to die.
Keep your heads down.
I thought we'd never make it.
Hurry up.
Okay, I think that one's good. Notice, I think with the there were a lot of problems with this level, like in testing, so that they put these health things all over the place. health packs and health stations. Make sure you're able to survive.
Bring another group of citizens, Gordon.
Kind of want to bring them over here if I can. There we go.
We're ready for another group of citizens. Okay, they're safe. Go for another group.
So now I can't just go straight forward, straight through here anymore. Have to go around. Another little twist. See how although it's making you go through the same environment multiple times, there are these little twists you're seeing. All right, here we go. Any more? Alright, looks like rocket launcher's my best friend here. There we go. That worked out. Alright. Slowly making our way through. Yeah, you can see all these health kits all over the place.
The next group is ready for you.
That's a little warning there. Seeing that they're already ready for us, but we can deal with them. Definitely like the sniper. Aha. Let's get ready for them. Uh-oh. Wasn't as clean as I'd like, but keep moving. Yeah, the crossbow I see is like a very big risk reward. If you miss, you get a big leave yourself wide open for counterattack. So. Right, these guys almost didn't make it because I was using that crossbow. Okay, next group. Did they drop any ammo? Looks like not over there, they didn't. Ah, man. Try to get around them, but probably should just use the shotgun against them instead of the... Yeah, why don't I use the shotgun?
Okay, they're safe. Go for another group.
There we go. That worked out. Oh, where is it? Alright, no ammo for that anymore.
To the trains, people! We'll make sure you get there.
Okay, I think this one's the last group. We were pretty close to the end of the game, I think. Trainyard was our ultimate goal here. Any more surprises? Alright, so last group should be through here. Yeah, I think you can see
Your head's down.
where it can get a little frustrating, just having to deal with these constant attacks and die really easily. Concerned with, ammo as well.
You ready?
We're waiting on one person, I think. Yeah, Barney.
Defend the citizens. Get them to the train.
Alright.
That should keep them off our backs for a while.
I don't think we're quite done yet. There's like one more level here. Or reach the end, and I think I have probably just enough time to get through it. Pretty interesting one.
Go on, Barney. They're not after you.
There's a lot of frantic action going on. I think my main comment with that level is I can understand how it can be a little bit frustrating, but I've been through it many times to the point where I can deal with it
Open up this next track.
without too much frustration. Plus, Valve put in a lot of that health stations and health packs all over the place. Make sure you can just survive. It's easy to see how you can run out of resources and
Take care of yourselves. See you out there.
run out of health packs and eventually just run out of everything. So going through the same environment multiple times, Valve had to find a creative way to make sure that you continually have enough ammo to deal with the continued repeated attacks. Alright.
I'll get a head start on the next train. No time to lose.
You notice how this crank is just a little bit slower than all the other cranks have been.
You ready?
Now this is definitely designed so that, oh hey, look at that, you gotta get out of here. There's no way you have enough time to deal with that. So you just have to get the heck out of there, get to cover. Now you have to deal with the... And now you have to deal with that thing. So this is kind of a boss battle of sorts, although you can't really take it down just yet. Alright, let me let the health get back up before I don't want to get killed right away. So this mostly you have to just traverse the environment to get to a point where you can get through, get away, somehow deal with that thing. Alright, that didn't die, really? This level's gonna be definitely frantic. I'm not gonna do much commentary here, but let's see Mostly just jumping from cover to cover point. Right now, it's just about trying to figure out what to do, where to go, keeping your wits about you. Very tense and exciting, and I like that. I should have some of this to work with, so maybe I want to actually not shoot it at a... Yeah, that's better. But already out of ammo, so... Oh, maybe I don't want to go that way. Oh man. That definitely a surprise. All of a sudden I have 35 health. Oh, I think that's why this thing is here. Yeah, we can definitely see the design here. Alright, to the next one. Oh, move! Okay, I learned my lesson from before. Definitely don't want to get blown up a second time. Oh, wait a second. Where'd that come from? Didn't even see a one of those explosive devices anywhere. I'm not sure how that happened. Alright, that's a little frustrating because I'm not sure how I died there. Don't think I should have died. Oh, wait a second. What happened there? Yeah, it does not look good for this one. Yeah, not that great when you're dying for what apparently no reason. You just got a little bit unlucky there. That was what I was trying to do the first time, but I couldn't quite shoot them fast enough to get rid of them. Oh well. Did it this time. Alright, let's just get... Alright, am I gonna die like last time? Nothing, not sure what I died to last time. I mean, it seemed like I died to a mine, but I saw exactly what I'm seeing now. No mine. Whatever, let's get through it. Yeah, more mines here, but... Just gonna have have to quickly climb through, I suppose. Now we have ammo. Nice, got it. Alright. Through the most hectic part. Consequently, of course, that was the big boss battle of the game.
My new hero. Oh, I don't believe it. I think we're actually gonna make it out of here.
Alright.
Let's get the train.
Easier said than done. Let's get out of here.
We did it, Gordon.
With that, we are at the ending of the game. Frantic boss battle. Not the best battle in the game, I would say. Not the best battle in episode 1. I think I kind of like the gunship battle a little bit more, just because of how it works with that little room and how destructibility of the room changes the flow of the battle. Here it's more about having to traverse the room and getting to the point where you can take it out. Take out that I forget what they're called, but it's interesting in its own right, to be sure, but definitely like the gunship battle the most as far as the big battles.
Oh my god, the transmission's going out.
See a really cool scene going on here. Of course, what I like most about Half-Life is how you're kept in full interactivity, move around, look around, everything I want. Experience this as I would experience it. It doesn't have to be a cutscene. It's a really cool, exciting beginning to this game, and definitely a pretty cool and exciting ending to the game too. And yeah, I think that worked out quite well. Compared to Half-Life 2, which I consider one of my favorite games of all time, Half-Life 2 Episode 1 definitely carries on that same great experience that Half-Life 2 offered. Definitely don't no missteps were made. Well, can't say none, but it's not a suddenly the experience is bad or anything like that. No. Episode 1, not my favorite Half-Life game, to be sure, but yeah, all the great hallmarks of Half-Life 2 carried on in Episode 1, and we also see the some interesting new experimentation going on as well, with mostly concerned with the AI interaction, what I talked about in depth earlier on. I think that's in the earlier this part and in previous parts I talked about how that interaction, my most favorite part about playing Episode 1 and well Episode 2, we're going to see more of that as well. So if I remember Episode 1 for anything, it is that interactivity with Alyx that is key to the reason why Episode 1 stands on its own and isn't one of those forgettable chapters in the Half-Life series. Other than that, it's there are all of the great puzzle segments and great combat segments. A lot of them are really interestingly designed, as I discussed in every one of those. I would say, relative to the entire experience, this one also probably has the most flaws compared to the other chapters in the Half-Life series, Half-Life 2. That last area for sure, where going back and forth. That's delivering um, the rebels to the train station, evacuation of City 17 there. I'd say that was very... You never really want to experience the same environment multiple times. Mostly want to get as much as you can out of the environment with the first experience and then move on from there. But, I like how the game does its best to change it up a bit with different enemies and different scenarios, like especially that sniper segment where you have to try and shoot the sniper with the rocket launcher there. So if anything stands out as the worst part of the game, it's probably that segment where you're going back and forth. Life and ammo is always a concern there, which is why it's almost a little too obvious how that area is just overloaded and stuffed with ammo and health packs all over the place. Like, the game itself knows that segment is a little too rough, a little too tedious to get through. I think so much is said as well in the commentary of the game. If you go to the developer commentary track for that level, they kind of they make that pretty clear as well. But I think you can tell from the environment, observing from that level, you can make those observations and those conclusions as well. Also, any point in the game where we had to do that first person platforming, not that great. That's not so hot. So those are the main things that stick out as my least favorite parts about episode 1. But everything else, the storytelling remains top notch. The AI interaction, co-op. Essentially, it's a single player co-op game with Alyx most of the time, and that's why I like episode 1. That's what I like most about episode 1, rather. Of course, what has always been great about the Half-Life series and Half-Life 2 in particular is just how well it's able to tell its story while preserving that interaction and not relying on cutscenes, not relying, cutting to a video that has to play to you to do more cinematic storytelling. You don't need that cinematic storytelling. You can stay in the shoes of Gordon. You can experience the story and the action as you want to see it. You can look at what you want to see. I hate it when games have to force your head, like, no, you're going to look at this. We don't care what you want to look at. We want you to look at this because we really want you to know this information. And I hate when games do that, when they force your hand. And you know what? If I don't want to look at the action, let me not look at the action. Let me look at the things I want to look at. Let me experience it the way I want. I want to be a co-director of my own experience, essentially. And that's what episode 1 carries, that tradition of Half-Life 2. And I definitely continue to enjoy that interactive portion of the storytelling that Half-Life is known for. So as far as my final thoughts on the game, I think that makes it pretty clear. I don't think I have anything else to say on that. Definitely an enjoyable experience, although not my most favorite Half-Life 2 chapter. It has its moments. It has its unique and interesting elements to its own as well. But I think we're gonna in the next stream, I'm going to continue on with episode 2. Gonna get on to Half-Life 2 episode 2, and that one is